Hey guys, it's me, Pt.15, and welcome back to Sound of Drop Fall into Poison. Unfortunately, I was supposed to be streaming tonight, but that didn't happen. As people may have noticed, I was going to be streaming Umineko, but the internet died on me. Well, I've done a little bit more testing. I'm pretty sure it's internet service provider side, which means there's almost nothing I can do about it. So, I'm just going to go ahead and go with this. I would imagine it's going to be cleared up by the next day, so here's hoping. Anyway, let's see. So, we've gone through, I think I said like a third of the endings or something. And what we're probably just going to end up doing is just going off, for little endings every once in a while. Mostly like my options for making a decision. Well, this option I already explored, so let's try this one. This was whenever we are drowning in the deep ocean sea or something, and we have the option to take our sister's hand, or we could push the hand away. No! As I scream out, I push away the hand being extended to me. Pretending to help me, but really tricking me. This is my logic based on what I've experienced over and over again at this aquarium. I see. The regretful voice quickly disappears, and in exchange, the tentacle pulling my leg pulls harder. What was up with that tentacle? I feel intense pain, as if my legs are about to be ripped off. Gah. I frantically try to resist, but the only thing I feel is myself being pulled down further. I gradually forget to breathe. Well, it's kind of hard to breathe, you're under the water. Below my eye level, there is an enormous giant squid. As I close my eyes, my limbs are torn away by the thick tentacles. My own body gently floats along the water. No objective, just floating. Before long, the tentacle is wrapped around my slender neck. Just like that, I am pulled even further into the deep sea. At this point, I've already died. It is an instantaneous death, thanks to my broken neck. I'm watching the spectacle of my own death from somewhere else. The sight of my death from this enormous creature preying upon me, and my almost comedic powerlessness. Big sister. I feel like I heard a voice. Unable to find the owner of that voice, I can only look around the room drenched in red light. Deep mystery, spooky mysteries even. Yeah, I kind of want to work backwards until we hit a route that looks like it's going somewhere, basically. In a similar way to how I did Virtue's Last Reward, if that makes sense. Only this should be a whole heck of a lot faster. That was like, what, 2-3 minutes to get an ending there? The only problem is, especially near the beginning, I wasn't making saves everywhere. So it's going to be a little bit harder to clear everything, I would imagine. I'm not sure if this one's going to matter. I do remember saying pretty here, so we will find out. It's a light. Called by the light, I move forward. Nah, exactly the same. It might just be that blue decisions aren't final decisions, while red decisions have the potential to be final decisions. Now here's a good place to grab some bad ends, I'm sure. I don't actually remember what I said, so I'll skip out if I end up making one that I already did. Let's reach for the door. I don't remember doing that. My own body's floating in air. This place is already filling with wavering water. Trying to control my body, I reach for the door of the director's office. I have to get out at once. At this rate, I need to pull myself together in a safe place. My fingertip somehow touches the door. I grab the doorknob and I can't move it. The one way in and out won't budge. Irk. I cough up the remaining oxygen in my lungs in shock when the door refuses to open. My body is nonchalantly overcome with the sensation of floating. Just like that, I lose consciousness. Well, that was fast. So don't go for the door, in fact. Oh, there's more. This is no longer being of this world. I become aware of something strange. Then my soul is pulled into a large container. Deep red emotions. It isn't just me, but numerous souls, dominated by malice. Now I no longer have my original form, instead becoming nothing more than one part of a whole, molding into a colony. It's all over now. The me that was me is finished. Oh man, that was deep. Alright, I think the correct option was to reach on top of the desk, which is why I'm gonna not do that one if I can help it. So let's reach for my pocket. My own body's taken on buoyancy. This entire room is now underwater. It doesn't have just water in it, but is in water. As I try to control my wavering body, I search my pocket. My fingers feel something and I pull it out. It's the keychain with the starfish charm. A sticker photo is attached to the back. This might actually be the right one. Hold on. Now I can't skip, which means it must be something new. Director, if you can hear me from somewhere, watch this. Am I sure? I'm pretty darn sure I remember this. Yep. That was an ending we already had. Okay, so it was reach for my pocket. That was the right option, so we can skip that. Reach out for the bookshelf. For some reason. Something on the bookshelf. Hoping against hope, I try to control my wobbling body and reach out my hand. I touch the books. Something, anything would be good. I search for something to help me overcome the situation. Not business administration. Not architecture. Those aren't the kind of books I need. I need occult books. Ugh. During this time, air slips from my nose in the form of bubbles. However, I'm still okay. I plug up my nose with my left hand and search the bookshelf with my right. Heavy books, thick books, I fling them all off the shelf. The books float for a second in the water, then sink right away. Once a book falls, I put it out of my mind. What I'm looking for is a clue to get through this place. Yeah. Air is leaving my body. I don't watch the bubbles as they float up. It's not just bubbles, but the equivalent of my life. Watching it vanish could really shatter my mind. If I have even a hint, I'll be fine. To address the director, a hint is all. Then a ray of hope appears for a brief second. Just as I think my air supply won't last any longer, a piece of paper that had been lodged in a book passes before my eyes. On top of the paper are two silhouettes. An adult and a child. A man and a girl, a faded photograph. One of them is a man past middle age, wearing an impeccable suit. The colors of his clothing are the same as Saganuma Rieko's. I'm convinced that this is the director. That's right, yak. Having relaxed for a second, the corners of my mouth loosen as well. The bubble that leaves my mouth starts to flow in the water. That slight current of water drifts the photograph towards the water surface. Wait! I can no longer continue breathing. That picture was my last clue, my last chance to speak with the resounding voice of the director. I chased the picture, swimming higher and higher. Assisted by the buoyancy supporting my body, swimming up is easy. The picture is higher and higher still. With my right arm stretched out, I follow the picture towards the surface. As high as it can go. Huh? Was the room always this big? Unable to sense the ceiling, I just keep going up through the water. The picture is very far away, disappearing as it goes higher and higher. Huh? What was it with that picture in the first place? My vision is nothing but deepest blue. My previous focus no longer visible. Huh? Huh? Is this enough? I should need oxygen. But right now I don't feel the slightest pain from being unable to breathe. Melting into the blue, my consciousness is freed. That's right, long ago I became a part of the wavering water's flow. Where did I begin and where do I end? Only the things I think are keeping me connected. That too will end. It's mysterious, or so that's how I feel. That was confusing. You and me. There's no difference between us. We are but one large flow. The things we can feel are larger than we could ever imagine. Something is here, carrying with it something I've lost. Some sort of form has come. Amongst the gears, too. So, I imagine that's supposed to give you a hint to check your pocket. Because you know in your pocket you've got a charm with a picture on it that has the director and his daughter. Or at least someone who looks like the director and the daughter. That ending was probably like a clue ending, if anything. We're wiping them out here. Alright, let's try top of the desk. I feel like I already did this one. Hold on. Let me see if it'll let me skip it. Oh, is that an alternate option? You can get a picture off the top of the desk? That's interesting. So there's not one true, like, option for something like that. But yeah, we definitely went for that already. I remember that, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. We got a blue option here. Not sure if this is going to lead to a thing. I'm pretty sure the director's accident is what we're discussing here. The girl, the name I don't even know, she talked about a grudge. She would be talking about her father, not about Mari. No. There's no mistaking that Mari's disappearance is related to Manton Aquarium, but that isn't what I need right now. The director's accidental death was caused by the air in the deep-sea fish booth. Yep, so that's very similar. Okay, so I think last time I went with the option of sticking around. Let's try leaving the room. So fumble about. Yep, we haven't done that yet. My body slowly begins to float in the air. This place is already filled with wavering water. Trying to control my body, I reach for the door of the director's office. I have to get out at once. At this rate, I need to pull myself together in a safe place. My fingertip somehow touches the door. I grab the doorknob and I can't move it. Seems very similar as well. Oh, that leads to the same ending, I think. Or at least it leads to the same dialogue. I don't know if that's the same ending necessarily. Well, I got all those at least among the gears. So we're gonna have to go back even farther then, which is problematic because, like I said, I didn't make the best saves. Alright, this is, I think, a legitimate option which will give us more options. We went to the director's office, which leads to one of the true end routes. There's also a reference room and a storeroom. A storage room? Wonder what's in here. On sneaking a peek, there are hula hoops, bowls, and other things for use in the shows. I also catch sight of mops, vacuums, and other cleaning supplies. There seem to be few things of any use, such as books or documents. I close the door, leaving the storage room behind me. Wow, that was easy. Okay, what about the reference room? Maybe this is some kind of reference room. Since it's like a reference room, maybe I can get some information. As I think this, I push the door open to the reference room. After confirming that no strange phenomena are taking place, I step inside the room. Inside, there are massive frogs attached to the ceiling, books and files arranged on metal bookshelves. Looking at the spines of the books, they all appear to be technical in nature. Research data also appears to be mixed in. I've heard that aquariums are also implied to be facilities for research. Seeing this room has convinced me of that. I see, it is. It's not like there'd be any materials written about the strange things happening at this Manton Aquarium. Would there? Since this place is itself an abnormality. Having come to this conclusion, I notice a book near the entrance on deep-sea fish. Deep-sea fish were the last words that the girl left me with. Strangely interested, I take the book into my hands. It seems there's a technology called nanobubble. an extremely small bubble, less than a micrometer. By suddenly compressing a microbubble, a bubble less than 50 micrometers, a relatively stable purification process can be performed. It seems that, due to the properties of vapors in the bubble, various effects can be expected. If ozone is sealed within these bubbles, water can be purified through bacterial processes. Since it's not using detergent or other chemical substances, it seems to be good for the environment. There's also an example of sealing nitrogen inside the bubbles so that it dissolves down to a finite amount, preventing the oxidation of caught fish so they can be delivered to cities while still fresh. A particular note is that freshwater and saltwater fish, using a similar composition in their bodily fluids, apply the bubbles technique to balance the electrolytes in freshwater with their own bodily fluids as a mean of coexistence. Freshwater fish cannot live in water that has a higher concentration than that within their own bodies. What do you mean, like of salt? And saltwater fish cannot live in water that has a lower concentration. Furthermore, it seems the microscopic bubbles can stimulate activity at the cellular level. There are cases of the bubbles being used to cure the koi herpes virus, for example. The deep-sea fish booth at Manton Aquarium seems to have been set up with this technique. Naturally, it would involve a cost incomparable to normal expenditures. In other words, it would take more money. The obvious downside would then have to be pressure for funds. This isn't the time for reading. It's all very interesting, but it would be something better researched after I return to the real Manton Aquarium with Himeno. I return the book to its original spot and leave the reference room behind. Okay, so that kind of just narrows us all down. That's gave us a little bit of information, mostly just about, I guess, why it costs so much for them to run the deep sea fish booth. I thought it was going to be something related to pressure. If it was deep sea fish, you'd need a lot of pressure. So I don't know. Anyway, let's try for another one. Oh, whoa, static. Okay, so I think this was the last point I had an option to really make a decision. Before this, that I haven't made already, I should say. There was the one with the fake Mari that I already did all the routes of. So last time I went for stopping these two from fighting. Now let's try observing the situation. I think that one's different. I don't really know if that would make a difference. No, I don't want to get pulled into this. You see, it won't let me skip. I reconsider my decision. That girl said it strongly herself that she wanted to be alone. Surely she would hate it if I intervened. If things escalate, it's a different story, but for now I decide to watch over their actions. Their quarrel continues, the girl using hand gestures, and that turns out pretty much exactly the same. It is not great. Yeah. So that doesn't lead to anything different. Not that I really could have done anything either way, we already tried doing something. We had a decision here at the Medusa Heads. We were choosing if we wanted to move on or go back. I chose move on last time, so let's go back. Yep. At any rate, I should pull back and get into a good position. I should open and close the door numerous times in order to create a safer environment. My feet unsteady, I swiftly dodge and retrace my steps. One step at a time, feeling as if I'm walking on bubbles. I inch with certainty closer to the door. All right. Finally, I succeed in reaching for the door. Just like this. I throw open the door right away. Huh? At that moment, I'm swallowed up in darkness. Whether it's darkness or water, at any rate, there is definitely no light. Something touches my back with a wet sensation. Before long, it spreads throughout my body. Yeah, it's water. What? Without thinking, I spin around. Before me are a large number of fish. They say that fish with human faces swim about. Oh good, the human fish. I'm reminded of Himeno's words. That's right, human-faced fish. Just like the faces I saw at the jellyfish booth. These are attached to the fish approaching me. I'm an idiot. If I go through the door, the time axis will change. If I do that, the way I came also changes. I have no idea whether or not it will be safe. Regardless, to avoid the immediate terror, I vigorously leap forward. The fish are biting off my clothes. Oh, hi there. They're fish. Yes, fish. Pervy fish, no matter how much their white teeth are like humans, and no matter how much their teeth are arranged like humans, they're all fish. So it'll be fine. Before I realize it, the clothes enveloping me are disappearing. Blood leaks from the places I have been bitten by those large teeth. Look, red water. The blood flowing from my body mixes with the red ocean. And then they become one. Me in this bright red world. That's what you get for doubting yourself. You gotta keep moving forward. A coward's end. But now I got an achievement, yellow. We took a coward's end. We strategically backed up, which is cowardice, apparently. I hope you guys knew that. Completed 50% of the bad endings. Okay, that's cool. So we're 50% done with those. That's good. Getting through them. Okay, so I think the thing before this was the thing with the, what's it called? The frogs. The frogs was before this. I'm gonna choose a different option here. I don't think it'll make a difference. You're mean. Don't expect me to take care of you. I'm making the best choice. Anyway, if you die here, your friend dies too, so make sure to come back. Yeah, and I don't think that is any different. Like I said, I think the blue options are options that don't seem to make any real discernible differences. And last time I said it was Kinji-san, but I'm going to say it's Hiyoshi-san, even though it's, you know, the same thing, obviously. Same as the employee card. Yeah, okay. Down to frogs. The first time I ran straight through, that lets you escape alive. So let's go around and, you know, just waste more time. I can't. It's no laughing matter if I fall, so I'll go that way. Do you doubt me? Huh? You get that you don't have time for that, right? The girl speaks in a cold voice and closes the door. As if recognizing my suddenly slowed heartbeat, the rain stops. The sprinklers have been turned off. What? No words will come out. Even as I come to understand my circumstances, I cannot say anything. Now the frogs are gonna get ya. Croak, croak, croak. Gwa, gwa, gwa. Kee, kee, kee. The frog's cannon continues. As they hop freely about, they spray liquid all over. Ah! Frightened, I kick the bright red frog at my feet into the air. He is crushed with a splat, his venom wetting the tips of my toes. Hot! I scream this word reflexively. Who says hot? Actually, ouch would probably fit better than hot. There you go. Shaking, I look down at my feet. My right big toenail is slowly melting away. Ah! Who would have guessed? Spray from my raising foot so high scatters about, some of it getting in my left eye. My vision fades in sync with the intense pain. Croak, croak, croak. Gwa, gwa, gwa. Kee, kee, kee. The stench of acid grows stronger once more. I have to get to the door. Enduring the pain, I take a step. I crush several frogs, leaving the sensation of slippery meat. The fluids that scatter about strike me around the knees. As I take my second step, I lose my balance. I can't balance on the leg that is melted. Your leg melted entirely, but it doesn't hurt. Why? I quickly get my answer. My nerves have already been paralyzed. As long as I can't feel the pain. At least not the intense pain of my flesh melting my flesh. I laugh naturally. Naturally, even though my body's begun to deteriorate, I feel no agonizing pain. How strange. In my fading consciousness, I keep thinking that I should at least try to laugh. Good job. The madness that follows indecision. What a title. What a name for an ending. Okay, we have the option to save Himeno or Mari. We chose Himeno, so let's try Mari. To save Mari, if I were to guess based upon what was written in the diary, then Mari wandered into the closed-down area of Manton Aquarium. If that's the case, I have to bring her home. Even if I flee this Manton Aquarium to save Himeno, I can't just leave Mari behind. There's no way I can prioritize one over the other. Even so, I have to move forward. Time to go. As I say this, I reach for the door to the staff room. Okay, I would imagine that isn't going to make a discernible difference, especially her saying, well, I can't just leave Himeno, so... We are forced to help. Let me see, does this lead to the same decision? Yep. That leads to the exact same decision. So, we are actually getting back in my saves. Keep in mind I didn't save a lot towards the beginning. I don't know if it's the save back here whenever I was dealing with the whales circling the girl. Yeah, actually that is. That is. So stop skipping. So that would be the last major decision. There was a small decision in there. I doubt that's going to make a difference, but let me just take a quick look. Okay, so yeah, the next decision would be the thing with the killer whales here. The orcas or whatever. I know I did some of these, so I'll have to probably do some more of them. Anyway, I am going to say this. I'm running a little bit out of time at the moment, so I'm going to finish this up later. The other thing is I don't know how long this is, so I need to do some editing first. So I can see if, see how much I've got, see how much more I want to do. Because if we're cutting a lot of this out, I have no idea how much finished footage there is. So I'm going to stop for now, and we will come back probably in a bit and finish up. Well, that was actually surprisingly more than I thought there was, so I'm going to leave it at that, and we'll pick up on this another day. So thanks for watching.